Welcome to the world of Q&Asa, where the past, present and future of gaming all converge, and we talk about them all, play them all and have lots of fun, hopefully. I am sitting in the water again. This is one of my favourite backgrounds. I don't know why. I just kind of like it. I can't hear anything though, so bear with me a second while I fix that. Am I going to fix that, or do I not really care about that? It's alright, I fixed that. Where is everyone? I'm so lost and confused. I've hidden and minimized the chat window. That's no good. This whole show is reliant on me being able to see the chat window. It's a big conversational show. Which, you may not know, but it is a big secret. So everyone here has probably been here before and knows exactly what's going on. Just in case, I'm going to talk through it anyway. I see Gaming with Passion, Painful Discourse, I was here. Painful Discourse is here again. Gaming with Passion is here again. That's how it works. Chronic. My call entering sound. That didn't play, did it? I see. Yeah, sorry, Isla. Yeah, it does that. I forgot, and I didn't actually hear it myself. This is all Discord, like Discord things in the background. Don't worry about it, everybody. How are we doing today? How's it going, Joe? This show is a big, messy, hopefully fun conversation. You can talk to me, you talk to each other. And we just see where that takes us. Usually, it ends up being pretty entertaining, I think. You must think it too, because you came back. So it's working, it's working. What we're going to do is run through how it works, because I've only just, as of last week, moved this show to a Saturday thing. And that's not got any massive bearing or relevance to what I'm talking about. So, conversational, back and forth, talk to each other, talk to me. If that's not good enough for you, you can throw money at the internet and do the whole super chat thing, and it will go all swishy and appear on the screen and all that stuff. You'll get loads of attention and everybody will love you. You don't have to do that though. Option 3, if you want to show your face or just your voice to the whole of the internet, the Discord function is back up and running this week. I didn't have it last week because I messed some things up. This week it should be up and running and working. So if you want to come and talk to everybody more directly, stick yourself in one of the waiting rooms on the Gaming Arcadia Discord and I'll bring you in for a little chat. And the last option is the YouTube Q&A box. So the Q&A box will appear. You may use it to stick whatever you want in, really, so long as you can fit it in there. And then at the end of the show we go through all of those one by one to cover them all. Good evening, Dave Mack. So Italy are out, are they, Joe? I'm sure episode 13 will be the only person I know that will be upset by that, but there we go. Let's move on to talking about games. There's probably some other things that I need to talk about. I'm a little bit off because Power World has upset me today, which some of you may know because that's a real-time ongoing conversation in Discord at the moment. But Power World has upset me. We'll come back to that in a little bit though. Tell me what you've all been playing. And yes, Chronic, the call entering sound that I was talking about is the clip that you made, the 4.7 seconds voice clip I set for myself. So thank you for clipping that out. It disturbs lots of people every time I join a Discord server now. This is a really cold tea that I made myself in the afternoon. It's disgusting. Disgusting, I tell you. I have been playing... Hang about, Gaming with Passion, you finished LA Noire VR. Do you recommend that? I saw your little picture of your desktop setup and your Quest 3 there and ready to go. Do you recommend LA Noire? From what I gathered, it was a little bit disjointed because of the bits that they stripped out of it. So it is a conversion of the Pancake LA Noire, but they took certain sections out that they didn't feel were a good fit for the medium, which meant that it could get a little bit wonky as you went from scene to scene, but other than that it was supposed to translate quite well. It had an issue with headset compatibility. It was one of the few games that didn't work on the headset that I had when it came out, so I've had it sitting ready to play for years and I've never touched it. Joe, you're on Zelda Breath of the Wild, that oil rig game, and you played Smash Brothers for the first time. Do you know what, Joe? Smash Brothers has been threatening to be a community game for ages. It used to be that I kept it reserved. I was going to play Smash Brothers on an occasion when Gamsley was there for the community games because he's the biggest fan of it that I'm aware of. And then he never turned up. And then I forgot the plan to play that game at all. How did you find it? I don't really know what's going on in it whatsoever, but I know that it has a pretty good spectator mode that would make it quite convenient for community stuff. So it only supports like 4 people actually fighting, but I could very easily host it, not necessarily play every game, and still keep all of the action on one screen. Makes it very convenient. It's the difficulty with the community games and things. Typically it'll be ideal if there are games where I can show everybody's gameplay and not just my own, because my own gameplay is typically like trash. I'm terrible at all of the games that we play. So there'll be an exciting race happening on whatever version of Forza we're playing, and a hotly contested battle to win it. And then there'll be me 3 laps behind, crashed into some tyres, not actually showing the world what's happening at all. But you didn't have a clue what you were doing. You think you need a YouTube lesson on it. I think you probably can find some good YouTube lessons on it. Pick a particular character and focus on their little tips and tricks to avoid falling would be the first bet. And if you actually don't play that game at all, simple things that you should be able to survive will be fatal. Hunter made it fun. Wait a minute, Chronic. Hunter made what fun? I've got confused. Oh, he's the hunter in the oil rig game. And Dave, you've been playing painting and decorating. Much better in VR, but then you don't get your house fixed, I suppose. I have been playing so much Final Fantasy still, and not nearly enough Final Fantasy still. I don't actually think that I've carried on my my Final Fantasy VII Classic stream run much at all this past week, and I've barely touched Remake either. But I have secretly in the background got through a bit of Rebirth. I think I'm 75 hours into that now. So very good. Like, brilliant game. And also a roller coaster of positivity and negativity, because despite everything that it does brilliantly well, it still has these horrible sticky patches and pacing issues. So you might be thinking, oh, why are you saying it's brilliant if it's got pacing issues and sticky patches? Because the good bits are so damn good. They really are. Really are. 75 hours is a long time to get sticky bits though. Isla, you're playing Minecraft. I played Minecraft too. Some people might dispute that. If they went back and watched the stream and saw my participation, they might say, you didn't really play Minecraft though, did you? And I wouldn't have much of an argument. Like, no, not really. I ran around a bit, sat on a boat, fell in some lava. It counts. At some point, I'm going to learn. I'm going to run to the forest and set up a dirt cabin and forage for freaking berries. I don't know. I can't remember how that game works, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to survive all by myself. All by myself, perhaps with a voice in my ear offering some light guidance. That would be your voice, Isla, hopefully, because I don't know what I'm doing. I can't learn things. Game with passion. You don't recommend LA Noire. The gameplay gets old quickly. Story is disconnected. You feel like they pick random missions and put them in VR. Okay, so you're kind of backing up what I had heard about it then, that it is quite disconnected because of the stuff that they chopped out. That's a shame. That is a shame. You've just seen the stream. It's a nice little spot. Yeah, I like this one. When it's a hot, bothersome day, I stick myself in the water. I'm going to try and get... I know it's not a very sophisticated effect, but it's good enough for me to stick myself in water all over all kinds of places. You can bullivate me to play, you know. Don't really need bullying, but yes. And look, I can pull up a mug and I've got a sip of the water that I'm sitting in. It's a very, very short game. That's alright. Short games aren't so bad. There were a bunch of VR games. In fact, the thumbnail for this show today is for, I've forgotten the name of it, Metal Hellsinger, because there's a VR demo of Metal Hellsinger available right now. And I've downloaded it, but I didn't get around to playing it. I intended to this afternoon, and then I ate too much and made myself feel sick. Can't really eat too many fajitas and then run around in VR. Doesn't work, because then I'll vomit. Chronic, I got to think of something that I'm interested in and then build it in Minecraft. That's a terrible idea, Chronic. You built an underground zoo and an aquarium in it with your little lad. That's fancy. That's like definitely beyond my imagination. I'm gonna, like, a dirt cabin was my limit. I'm not very arty, I'm not very creative. I have things that I am good at. I'm not like completely useless. Kinda. Don't call my bluff on that, because I can't think of anything that I'm good at. But yeah, I'm gonna make a dirt cabin, which is literally like a, I don't know, 6x6 cube of dirt that I can hide in. Build my VR setup, yes. If I were to learn all of the like redstone circuitry that you can do in that game. Missing the goggles and swimming cap, yeah. Oh, I'm not getting my head underwater. Just, I'm comfortable where I am. How's it going, Kratos? What's your favourite thing to build in Minecraft? It's not something that you're particularly interested in. I don't know, Isla. I don't know. You like to flatten off entire islands and then give up your project and move on. So, Gaming with Passion, you're interested in playing Bulletstorm VR? The devs released a trailer saying they fixed the game. Yes, they did. It's still sitting at mostly negative reviews on Steam, but I'm with you in that I quite want to play it. I wanted to play it anyway, despite the negative reviews. Do you know what they said they fixed? I'm going to bring that trailer up because I haven't watched it yet. Kratos, you're finally a bit of time to veg. Okay, you've been busy. No, you. But by veg, you mean play games, right? You mean play games. Let me find the Bulletstorm. It's been fixed trailer. Bulletstorm. I can't type. My keyboard's too far away. And technically, possibly underwater. If this background were remotely real. Bulletstorm VR. Fixed. So this was part of, so Upload VR had a VR showcase in the week that included this, but it hasn't come up when I search for it. Let me find Upload VR's channel instead. Upload VR. Won't be long, everybody. Wait, it's making noises. How dare it? Okay, I've stopped it making noises. They don't have all the trailers listed one by one. Stupid. That's absurd. So no Bulletstorm trailer for us today. Don't worry about it. I'm not upset if you're not upset. You can smash the like button if you want to. You can caress it gently. You can stomp it into the ground, but I won't be giving you a refund if you break your monitor or screen. Or you can just ignore it completely. I don't mind. I'm not driven by numbers. If I were driven by numbers, I'd be quite upset that my Asa Games channel only has 38 subscribers. Fortunately, I'm quite relaxed about such things. Gaming with Passion, are there any other VR games from that showcase that you're particularly interested in playing? I liked Metal Hellsinger's Pancake version, and I am looking forward to trying that in VR. I don't know if the rhythm-based gameplay will translate so well into VR, but I'm optimistic. That's why I downloaded the demo. I'm going to give it a go. Definitely going to buy it because, you know, support the devs that are making projects for my tiny niche hobby, which is VR. Kratos, you're just going to sit your butt down and unwind without doing a thing. Fair enough. Fair enough. I used to have time as well. That's going to get far worse. Outside of all of the gaming and entertainment, I have full-time work looming in a couple of weeks, which is quite a big change. And I'm not after sympathy because everybody works, you know, but it's going to make things more difficult and exciting. You started playing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 1. That's a brilliant game. That's a brilliant game that everybody with VR should play. Are you doing the PC VR version? it's not you can't shove the zombies, like it's not got that sort of physicality that it needs, but it definitely has a lot of cool stuff. You can run and jump and stab a zombie in the brain with a spoon, and it's got, like, if you're using a weapon you're going to use more than once, then you have this kind of nice awkward like stiffness to removing a knife from a skull. Because you've got, obviously there's like a disconnect between the resistance on your real life hands and stuff, but you try and pull the knife and your character's like, oh, this is kind of stuck in there, and you have to give it a good yank to get the knife back out ready for the next zombie. And it feels good. Not like you need to worry like I'm going to go start sticking knives in skulls anywhere outside of VR, but it feels good in the game. It's fun. No top chat, no, I'm on the proper one. Isla says, aha. I'm on the proper one, and yeah. Don't know, what have I missed? Mega villages in a circle. Yeah, I did say the circle. Giant flattened, like, island circle. I knew that one. So what else? Tell me more about what you've been playing. Like I say, I'm really desperately trying to get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth out of the way, because that will free up a lot of my schedule. Read Painful Discourse. He said top hat. Wait a minute, I'm scrolling up. He says, I'm good at stealth in real life. Yes, Painful Discourse. Thank you. It's very true, but I don't like utilize it as a talent. There's bullshit notifications coming up. I don't know what that's all about. If somebody actually triggered a proper notification, my apologies that my bot got confused and stuck the wrong thing up. Dave Mack has resubscribed to the channel over on Twitch. Thank you, Dave, for keeping Twitch alive. I knew it was worth me being over there. Yes, Isla, that was the deep lore. I'm very stealthy in real life, but I don't consider that talent. Like, it's a liability. It means that I scare the people I love, because nobody ever knows where I am, and then I just appear. They jump, they drop things, they scream. I guess that's good. 30 seconds of ads. Thank you, Tony. That will have made me very wealthy. For those that aren't aware, I do stream this on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Nobody ever goes over to Twitch apart from very occasionally Tony, Dave Mack and Isla, who have gone over there right now to watch an advert and get me paid loads of Twitch ad money. That'll be like at least a couple of pence. Very hard to get viewers on Twitch. Yes it is. Twitch has no kind of discoverability or way to do that. Though I'm surprised at just how dead it's been over there for me lately. I used to get people over there. It's how I found Tony, right? Tony, I found you on Twitch rather than YouTube, or you found me over there. I don't know. It's a long time ago. Tony's been around this channel before this channel was this channel. 4 days till Glistering Badger. That's exciting. Chronic sucks trying to find the old Minecraft Zoo and Aquarium, but your lad ported it over to Xbox, and that part of it didn't carry over, nor did your fishing post. Do you know what, Chronic? You can rebuild it on the Gaming Arcadia Minecraft server. Won't that be delightful? Delightful, I tells you. And it will last. The only people that you get are bots or someone that wants to sell you some design stuff. Yes, Game on Passion. That's like, you can almost preemptively, if someone is polite enough to say anything, you can preempt the conversation and be like, I don't want to buy anything. I've got nice artwork and things already set for the channel. Thanks very much. Yeah. Still, everything's gone dark. Am I having a stroke? No, I think my TV's got some weird dimming. That's alright. That's alright, it can go dim. I don't need it bright. Tony, your gemsticks aren't gone. Come on now. You always say that. And they're always secretly still there. The jump scares and stuff won't be working right now, though. I don't know what you've just done, but you've got more badges by your name now. Tell me more things. Tell me about more games. Final Fantasy Rebirth, very, very brilliant, very, very long. I'm on somewhere through chapter 10 out of I don't know how many, but I must be approaching the end, and it's so good. Painful Discourse, you're deep in Shadow of the Erd Tree. All the maps and almost all areas unlocked, but you still didn't engage most of the main bosses. Found a few, but not attempted properly, just exploring and enjoying the mood. It's definitely a game for mood. Tony, thank you for doing Twitch things. Is that a Prime subscription? So I definitely gratefully accept Amazon Prime subscriptions over on Twitch if you have them spare. The Elden Ring stuff, I still haven't done the main game. I still very much intend to do the main game. I like Elden Ring a lot, but I just kept on putting it off, and my current theory is that I should finish Dragon's Dogma 2 first. So I jumped on Dragon's Dogma 2 a couple of times this week, and I did stream both of the Dragon's Dogma 2 ones, but I'm a Dragon's Dogma 2 disaster. Elden Ring is supposed to be a difficult game. Dragon's Dogma 2 is not supposed to be a difficult game. I died about 800 times in the space of 3 minutes on Dragon's Dogma, mostly through being completely inept. Just like dying to stuff that really shouldn't kill even a small child. And just running around completely lost, just doing laps of a field and then going, I recognize this. I've been here before. This is where I started the stream, and somehow I've wandered off and come straight back in a big loop. Kratos, you're playing mostly on the Switch now. I want to play some Switch games. My Switch is still here. I never get around to it. And a few games of Helldivers. That's another one I did. I played some Helldivers with Tony this week. We had a good time. And Wayne came on as well. So I had Tony I played with twice, and Wayne joined us for one of the sessions as well. Helldivers I can't typically play for more than like an hour before it starts to feel a bit tedious. But every time I do play it for an hour, it's fun, and it entertains me for a short time. So keeping that installed to go back to every now and again. Isla, you've had a migraine all day. You can have all of the sympathy that I can spare. Yeah, I hope that feels better. How was it? Thank you for stopping by and leaving a little message there. What's my favourite retro game that I would like to see come back in some form? So, it's Panzer Dragoon Saga and Shining Force 3 are the two that I would list as ones that I kind of pine for. And in terms of Panzer Dragoon Saga, I would very much like to see just a remake. Doesn't need to be the shiniest, prettiest thing in the world, but it needs to look easier on the eyes, like easier on the eyes than the upscale Saturn game looks. And Shining Force 3, I would love to see either Shining Force 3 brought out in full in English, or I'd quite happily see like new Shining Force games that were true to the old ones, if that makes sense. Same with yours. Yours was Panzer Dragoon Saga as well. And considering how few people actually played that game, the odds are not that high. And you never played Shining Force. I think Shining Force 3 still holds up really nicely today. So Panzer Dragoon Saga, if I go and play that on the Saturn, like literally on an actual Saturn physical bit of hardware, it's quite harsh on the eyes. Doesn't upscale nicely just because of the visual style of it. Shining Force 3, it's not going to look like a modern game or anything like that, but it's still nice and easy to pass and very playable, and you can play it entirely in English now if you download the right mod pack for it. So massively recommend that if you like old Sega stuff. J2987 with the smash. Who are you, J2987? How do I know you? Thank you for the message over on Twitch. What else have we got? That's a question for other people as well, though. If you have like a favorite retro game that you would like to see modernized in some way, either a sequel or a remake, stick it in there. I know we've had a few of you have answered this one before, but answer again anyway, because that's nice. And we're going to move on to what are the topics for today? What's been going on? There was the Upload VR showcase. That Gaming War Passion actually is where I got most of my information from. So Bulletstorm VR, going to play that. That other game that I talked about that's on the thumbnail, Metal Hellsinger. Definitely going to play that. I don't think there was a whole lot of good stuff in there. There was one other game that Gaming with Passion highlighted, and I've forgotten what it was called. Looked like a more in-depth, puzzly adventure thing. You know what? I'm distracted. I need to tell you why I'm mad about Palworld. You're playing Celico. It's very good and very retro. I've heard the name, and I can't place that game right now. Palworld upset me today because we've been waiting for ages. So we've got on the Gaming Arcadia server, we've got a Palworld server, which has been running for ages, but we all stopped using it and decided actually it'll be more fun when the server support comes to the Xbox version and the Game Pass version, so that everybody in the community that wants to play it could jump on and play with us. So we all took a massive pause. And that server update is live now. If you play Palworld on the Xbox or on the PC Game Pass version, you can jump onto a dedicated server and play Palworld. So I had a look at that. My wife plays Palworld and she's got it installed on the Xbox already. So she updated her game and went onto the server browser and couldn't find the server. So I logged into the server backend to have a look, made sure it was properly listed as a community server, which it is now. And then saw a little note about platforms, and it says it's not cross-platform. The server, you have to choose whether you're supporting the Steam version or the Xbox version. And that ruins everything. Ruins my promise to Patrick and Tony and Chronic and everyone that's been on the Palworld server that I wouldn't destroy their stuff. Now I'm left with this horrible choice of like keep a Steam version that's never going to be popular because not many of us have it on Steam, or destroy all of their hard work and all of my hard work. I didn't put in any hard work, but you know, just to pretend it hurts me in that way as well. Destroy all of that and set up an Xbox version and make everybody start again. So that hasn't been resolved. I don't know the outcome of that entirely yet. It's very upsetting because it was on the agenda to play quite soon. Your girlfriend played Palworld at launch for a week or so, but for some reason she didn't stick to it. So a lot of us didn't stick to it, but because of this server reason, because it just needed a bit more time to bring everyone together on it. My wife played it a lot on her own, not on a server, just played it locally. She played it on an Xbox One X, where it looked absolutely atrocious and performed terribly, but she didn't mind because she doesn't really care for graphics and performance and stuff. And she played it a bunch and did everything and caught everything and explored every island and pretty much finished what there was of the game at the time. But now she wants to jump on the server and look after all of my pals and do all of the hard work for me so that I can just chill out and be powerful. And it's her that wants to do that. I'm not twisting her arm and making her. So that's handy. I'm going to rule the new Palworld server if that's the direction that we go. Oh, there's more Twitch things happening. This is weird. Gaming with Passion has subscribed over on Twitch. Gaming with Passion, I know you stream on Twitch as well, so I will throw the Prime subscription your way if I've got one. I'm pretty sure I have. Pretty sure I already used it on your channel at some point, but they expire every month, so I need to remember to go back and do it. I will do that. We also got on this channel special exclusive announcement. Everybody around the Gaming Arcadia Discord knows Tony, because you can't not know Tony. Tony is everywhere. He's one of the founding pillars of the community is Tony. He's going to reveal his face to everyone on a stream, probably in like an hour and a half's time, which is way exciting because it's Tony and everybody needs to see Tony. We're going to play, I can't remember what the game is called. I'm having one of those days. It's something about chains and whips, and yeah, we're going to stream it. He's got his camera set up. I didn't actually get him to confirm that he wants to be on camera today, so I could be lying to you all, but it's definitely in the pipeline for very soon. It's good times because my favourite part of all of the Gaming Arcadia stuff is the multiplayer games, the playing stuff within the community, having those nice conversations. Yeah, Chained Together, that's the one. Thank you, Isla. And there's a few other games in the Steam sale that I've been recommending people try and get on for the community games night tomorrow as well. So, Tony, support the devs. Okay, I do. I cheer. I wave flags and cheer for them on a regular basis. So, that wasn't a topic. That was me ranting about Power World. What else have we got today? This is your time to shine, people that are here. What's been going on this week that we're supposed to talk about today? I'm thinking, hold on. I'm holding electrical signals in my brain, but they're just making weird noises and not giving me anything helpful right now. Which is fine. Which is fine. No, so Nintendo was last week. Done that. I'm panicking. I'm not panicking because this is a nice relaxed show. But I'm stalling for time, waiting for one of you to put something interesting in there. Hunter, you're the man. What does it mean? Bad news for Dr. Disrespect. Well, you know, I don't want to like beat him up too bad. He's lost. I mean, he was paid out the entirety of his Twitch contracts and moved on to another platform and raked in money for like another 7 years or so after the fact. He's been through enough, hasn't he? Hard times. Hard times. No, he hasn't been through enough. You don't want to hear about him. He's not a topic, Isla. Don't you worry. It's not entirely avoidable as a news piece. So, you know, my typical policy around any influencer and all the rest of it is I don't like to talk about them at all. Typically, names from Twitch and all the rest of it don't really have a place coming out of my mouth. I don't care about influencers and all the rest of it. But he did make big news, partly because there was lots of implications against Twitch and YouTube and the platforms as well, rather than just the people. And yeah, I don't have heaps to say about it. There's a lot of people trying to like say that Twitch have mishandled the situation and should be downed and whatever, but I don't actually know. Nobody knows, really. You've disliked him for years since the moment you saw him. Yes, you have, Isla. This is true. World-renowned Geohound, how's it going? And what are you playing? Kratos, when is the Gex remastered coming? That's probably a real thing as well, isn't it? I don't need Gex remastered. How is it you don't think you ever saw a legal team handle a situation like that as bad? Which legal team? His legal team or Twitch's legal team? What's this little bit of music? I actually can't remember what OST I put on today. It was an emergency last-ditch choice because I had one all laid out. I downloaded a particular OST, but it was like 5 hours long, and when I tried to play it, OBS crashed. So reverted back to an old one, and I can't remember what it is. You loved the series back in the day. Gex, you'd replay it 100%. I don't know Gex. I've seen the character, but I've never played a Gex game. I never really did the word has escaped me. Stupid cartoon animal mascot characters. What's the word for them? I didn't like many of their games. I liked Sonic once upon a time. Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. Up to Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, I was fine with that, but the likes of Crash Bandicoot. No, I know Gex is older. Should possibly have a rightful place in the list of games that I've touched, but I have not. Never thought someone who dressed like him would end up being... Yes, indeed, Joe. Yeah. Yeah. Whoever's in charge of his PR legal stuff, the stuff he wrote was really bad. Yeah. 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 I hadn't even considered the angle that it wasn't him writing it, but it probably was him on that stuff. When I take out the wine, it means I'm serious. Not so, Tony, not so. Don't know if there is any hidden meaning to when I do and don't bring out the wine. So anyway, influencers, eh? Influencers. I have nothing else to say about that. Hopefully he is gone forever, but clearly is not going to receive sufficient punishment for what he's done. You notice without... Wait, you notice me being it out when it's topics that I need a little more time to think on it. Nah, that's not true, Tony. That's not true. Because right now I don't actually have a topic. But bring the wine out when my throat starts to get sore. That happens sometimes. Although that's not why I pour the wine. I poured the wine before the show started, didn't I? So, don't know, Tony. It's not part of the decision-making process. I don't like this music. It's too twangy. Tell them to do questions. Yeah, if you haven't been here before, you don't know how this works. There is a YouTube Q&A box. You stick stuff in there, and we'll go through those. We'll go through them fairly soon. So Tony, you might need to prepare for some games fairly soon, because it enhances the ideas. It doesn't enhance the ideas. It just tastes nice. It's a nice, sweet, easy to drink red wine. What else is happening? When am I making more videos? Probably never. Probably never. You don't like them. I mean, you might like them, but... Videos is tricky. Like I say, I have less time. And I enjoyed doing the reviews in particular. They were nice to do. Some other videos are fun too. It's quite early because I could potentially still do the videos that really you do all the work on. Those are still viable. But in terms of actually having time to... I'm very slow on video stuff. I'm very thorough with actually researching things. If I'm going to do a review, I play the game a whole lot. I record a whole lot of footage, and I'm very slow and quite methodical, but very slow with the scripting and the recording and stuff. The editing from that point is reasonably swift, I suppose. Not really. It's still too long for the time to be considered well used. And I don't know when I'll possibly have time to do that kind of thing. So my most precious, most savoured part of what Gaming Arcadia is and how it's been built up is the community element of it. And videos are a good way to get attention and bring people over, but they're not the bit that I cling to when I haven't got time. So can't promise more. Much as we were on the verge of shifting the entirety of the way that the industry handles reviews and doing good things with it, time is hard to find. So Tony, iPhone is trash with the YouTube questions. For some reason it won't go through. Just your iPhone. Other people with iPhones have no issue whatsoever. But your iPhone, I mean, maybe it's not your iPhone. Maybe it's your fingers. No, it's fine, Tony. Isla's crying, which won't help with the migraine. So how is it? You hope Space Marines 2 does good. They just cancelled the base today. Hopefully it isn't an unoptimized mess like Darkside was. That's a strange sign. Did they say why? Because that's not a positive sign to need to pull back on it. And I have a feeling it will be quite dark time. Thing with Space Marine 2 is I know a lot of people really, really want it to be really good, and I also would love for that to be the case. I'm not so invested in it as people that loved the first game, but the gameplay footage that I've seen leaves me less enamored. I like the massive swarms of aliens and the executions and all the rest of it, but there are so many bits where if I try and condense it down to how this is playing, how this is going to feel when it's in my hands, a lot of it looks really chunky and cumbersome. And I hope that it's got lots of different classes and builds and hopefully play styles, but there's I'm going to bring up the trailer anyway while I'm here actually. Shall I do that? Yeah, I should do that. We've not had any trailers today. Space Marine 2 gameplay overview from not take a tour of Kodaku. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna go to the Warhammer channel, gonna find it. God, the Warhammer channel's got too much stuff. I'm not gonna find it here. Wait. Gameplay demo, I'll get it from from the PlayStation channel. That's official enough. Bring it up here. If my button still works. It does. No, it doesn't. Fuck. Wait for it. How am I going to fix this? Wait for it. I made some changes to my setup that mean that the trailer isn't actually playing at all right now, but it's so just about to. Capture method. What? It's not my primary monitor. What are you talking about? Yes, it is. It's working now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Except that you can see my chat thing. Get that out of the way. Can't get that out of the way. It won't move. There we go. So Warhammer's playing. You can see it. I want a ballerina build, Space Marine. So Shady, it's more like the camera perspective says Gears of War, but Gears of War has a roadie run and has you slamming into cover. When I see parts of the gameplay in this, the executions are cool. The scope and scale of the environments is cool. There's a lot going on, but it looks like you know when you rip the chain gun off the back of a warthog in Halo, and then you have to walk around with a chain gun under your arms, and you can shoot a lot, but you're really freaking slow. And that concerns me a little bit. So yeah, give me the ballerina class that can nip through the battlefield. And I'm there, but give me the slow walking. I get that those bits that they're showing there are supposed to be cinematic, like, oh, look at the scale of this situation, but slow walking with a flamethrower. So, hopefully it turns out brilliant, but exactly, Tony, the slowness reminds me of Gears, but Gears has a roadie run and has cover to cover. Like, it takes away pace but replaces it with strategy. And this doesn't replace it with strategy, it just has the slowness. And you still stand in the open trying to shoot everything and swipe at everything. And that's my concern for it, I'll say, as well as obviously the performance concerns that the people mention. Yeah, just stand there shooting. Pow. Slowly backpedal with a flamethrower. Jump around with a jetpack, slide around doing cool stuff. I'll take that. They run in this game, they also have jetpacks. They do. There's a lot of slow bits as well, though. Like this guy. Look at that. Trundle with your grenade launcher. See, you can see where I'm coming from, right? I know there are bits in the trailer that are like when you get a set piece in lots of games and the camera deliberately pans and it makes you walk so you can take in what's happening. But there are also sections of the trailer that are directly like combat footage that are still quite walky. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to like dampen anybody else's enthusiasm. If you're hoping for good things, you might get good things. Cheeseworks, you hope I appear on the Xbox Era podcast someday. That's kind of you to say so. They don't particularly guest usually, do they? Time to time they do, I suppose. Small correction though, I'm not fantastic, but I panicked. You said nice things and I panicked and pressed the wrong button. Appreciate that. Show's not over. Still going a little bit longer. Yeah, now I'm confused. I just closed the show. Move my chat back over. Yeah, so I woke up today and chose hate. Nah, no hate. So Shady, I'm assuming that you're looking forwards to Space Marine 2. I know another guy really looking forwards to it, really enthusiastic about it, who would be upset if I said negative things about it. I'm not. I still hope that it turns out really good. Just, you know, minor concerns. But it's not life or death. If it turns out to be terrible, I've got a million other things to do. What's my day job? Boring IT stuff coming right up. It's not at the moment. In a couple of weeks' time it is. I should be careful in case anybody from my new place of employment happens to tune in. They're not going to, it's okay. But yeah, just generic IT stuff that's not worth a conversation. I have I'm quite old. I've got quite a long... Don't talk about it. It makes me negative. No, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm rejoining society and... Yep. Gonna buy myself lots of stuff. That's what matters. So Shady, you're expecting to put in a few hundred hours into Space Marine, the co-op, the expedition missions, different classes to rank up, cosmetics to unlock, and multiplayer will keep you insanely busy. So Shady, did you like Darktide? The other Warhammer game that had quite a lot of enemies and I think a fairly similar mission structure. Not... I don't know Warhammer lore. It's too scary and intimidating for me because there's too much of it, and I'll possibly get lost forever if I try and scratch the surface of Warhammer. So I try not to. One of them things where I try and just like shut my brain down just in case as a precautionary measure. But I know I'm quite a bit older than 37, but thanks, Cheeseworks. And yes, please like the stream if you do like the stream. If you don't like the stream, that's okay as well. Chronic, what have you done to Tony? I want to see. You called Tony out. I need to know. Tony hasn't been on Discord General recently. Yeah, he has. I've seen him on there today. Usually with gifts, but still, he's still there. I'm running out of topics. I don't think I've covered a single topic properly today, but you know, it's all relaxed here. This is fine. Isla's gonna scream and piss. Okay. Okay. Wait. So, I was upset about Power Word. Covered that. Didn't really cover the VR stuff, but that's fine. Know that I still love it. Do I speak with Gaz? No, not particularly. Not particularly. I haven't had like a big falling out with him, but not much to talk about either, so... You much more enjoy the fanboy less content. I don't understand console war stuff really, never have done. And I don't like getting caught in Twitter dramas and things like that, so it is a very different kind of vibe in that sense. Because I just like games, like a fellow IT person. I was gaming with passion right up until COVID. I did IT work for a lot of years, and then COVID and some other circumstances brought about a handy redundancy, and Game On Daily spawned from my redundancy payout and remortgaging my house like an idiot. So all of that has caught up with me now, and I need to go back to earning properly to recover. Cheeseworks. I would need a time machine to go back and question myself from 5 years ago to answer that one. Sincerely, I don't know. It wasn't always like that. Isla's gonna cry and piss and scream. The list is getting longer. What's happening, Isla? How do I fix it? Don't not have a new game. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. They just delayed that one, right? I don't know what that game is. I just read that they delayed it until 2025, maybe? Hold on. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Reveal teaser from 6 months ago. Lo-fi summer trailer from 2 months ago. Let's do that. Let's do that. Here it comes. I don't know this one. Press the right button, me. Don't end the stream. Okay. Here's your trailer, Isla. Stop saying sad negative stuff. I don't think I have said sad negative stuff. Don't think I have. I'm feeling pretty okay. I'm also transparent and honest. So if people ask me stuff, I typically answer it, whether sensible or not. Did I have a good laugh over the American presidential debate? I've not seen any of it, Cheeseworks. I've seen people talk about it. It seems a travesty and a massive failure of democracy and politics that you end up in a situation where you've got those two as your only candidates. I don't understand how that can be. How broken the system must be for that to be the end result of it. But, you know, I am far away from American politics. So, as an American, you're embarrassed. I think, yeah, I understand. It's not your fault, though. We don't hold it against you. I saw, actually, the thing that did... I don't know who runs the Joe Biden Twitter account, but there was a particular tweet after the debate that kind of acknowledges that the debate didn't go very well. And it said something like, oh, I might not be able to walk and talk as well as I used to, but I speak the truth. And it was like... Okay, Joe Biden probably wasn't involved in composing this tweet, and he's going to have a team that's doing that for him, I get that. But surely... you read that tweet and go, that's not really telling the truth, isn't really ticking all the boxes to be president of the country, is it? Like, can't walk and talk, but I can speak the truth. Yeah, but like a 6-year-old can speak the truth. That's not reaching very high. So, wasn't a good tweet. Game On gave us this channel though. You're not wrong, Painful Discourse. I would not be anywhere near YouTube if it weren't for that particular endeavour, so... It did. All decisions, good and bad, led to this point, right? Take that as you will, as condemnation or positive feels, I don't know. The Land Beneath Us is a game that you're into right now. Turn-based Hades. Turn-based Hades. So from that, I take it as roguelike, which initially I find fairly off-putting, but I did like Hades, so it's not always. I'm going to bring up a trailer for that. Isla, I'm sorry, I played that trailer that you asked for and I didn't actually watch it. Was it good? I'm always trying new stuff, unexpected new stuff. Is that right? Am I? Am I though? I don't know. I want to see the Land Beneath Us. The land. Wait for it. Gameplay 101, 1 month ago on the Idea Xbox channel. That would do. There were a couple I'm very particular about roguelikes. Hades is pretty much the only one I liked, but there was that Wizardy game that came up a couple of weeks ago. It looked really good. So this gameplay is quite fast-paced for turn-based. Is it more like a rhythmic grid-based game? It's not turn-based insofar as you can stop and wait, is it? And relics. Interesting. I would like to make a game one day. That's still part of my plan. Again, I don't have time to make videos. I don't know how I'm going to have time to make a game, but I would like to. Still better than having Trump endorse Putin to attack the EU. But that's what I mean, painful discourse, when I say, like, how are you in a situation where these are the two candidates? Why is... It's wild. And again, I don't want to... I don't know American politics well enough to pick apart either of them properly. But yeah. So, it's turn-based as in you attack and then they attack, not simultaneous actions. But if you... So in that game, Cheeseworks, if you just put the controller down, does it stop? Or is it a constant flow? I seem like a mild-mannered, decent chap. I am mild-mannered. Yes, I am. Oh, it does stop. Okay, so the trailer was quite a constant, like, blip, 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 blip kind of movement, but... So it stops so you can consider your next move. That's interesting. I'm curious about it. Can't tell you that I'm definitely going to go and download it because I don't know when I'd play it, but it's a neat little concept and I like neat little concepts. Let's do the questions, which sometimes can take a little while and sometimes go quite quickly. But I'm ready to do the questions, I think. It's probably I'm gonna get to the end of the show. I'm gonna hit the end button deliberately this time, not by accident because someone paid me a compliment. I'm gonna deliberately press the end button, and then I'm gonna remember the main thing that I wanted to talk about today. But it's okay. There'll be other opportunities. Let's do the first of our questions, please. You love chess, and it gives you the same feeling. What do you mean, no? You're pressing right now. Okay. It's a weird one because chess has obviously existed forever and must be pretty close to perfect as a strategy game, and I love strategy games, so I should play lots of chess, and I don't. I used to play, there's a little phone game, pretty much the only phone game that I've ever played. You could play it on PC as well, but it was mostly a phone game. It was called Hero Academy. There's a Hero Academy 2 that was a nonsense microtransactions pile of piss, but Hero Academy, the first one, wasn't near as sophisticated as chess, but it was a grid-based, turn-based game. And the thing that made it so very good was that I was amazing at it. I was freaking incredible at this game, beat the developers and everything. But besides that, it was like asymmetrical, asynchronous multiplayer. I don't know of other games that do this particularly, but it was the best concept for a turn-based multiplayer game because it was asynchronous in that you could have up to 20 games going at a time. So you challenge people on it, like just matchmaking, challenge people, take your turn, and then you could just leave that game to one side, challenge somebody else and take your turn or whatever. And as and when they responded, so long as they did it within 24 hours, I think was the default, then you get a little notification to say that that player had taken their turn, and you could have 20 games on the go at once. It was addictive as fuck. Especially because I always won. Really good game that I recommend it. I don't think it's gonna have a multiplayer population anymore because you're probably talking almost 20 years ago that I used to play that when I think about where I was at the time. So I don't play mobile games, and maybe someone that does can correct me on that. Maybe there are loads of other multiplayer games that do have asynchronous multiplayer. But the reason that I mention it is it would work really well for chess. You see clips of it of real life, like look at this chess master beating 7 other chess masters at the same time, and they're all sitting at their little tables in a line, and one person is moving between them, taking their turns. It's essentially that, but online and a very relaxed pace. Because you know that whoever you're playing against has also got just as much leeway. Like, they don't need you to take your turn in any particular time frame because they've also got 19 other games going on. Tony, I wanted to talk about this new channel in OnlyFans. Is that where you're at, Tony? Because I don't have one of those, but I like Tony's YouTube channel because he does gameplay clips and does his best to cut out the bits where I look terrible, which is awesome. So we'll play a game for like 2 hours and he cuts out all the bits where I'm terrible, which is like 1 hour 56 minutes of it, and you're left with like a 4-minute video that's quite entertaining and I don't look awful. So Tony's a hero for that. They're very enjoyable. First question is up. Joseph Robertson. Do I like Resident Evil games? They tie in very well with my virtual reality and I'm too scared to play them. So yes, I do like them. I didn't. First Resident Evil game, Resident Evil 1, caught my attention because there is a character in that game called Asa, which is unheard of. You don't get that in games. There's a Simpsons episode with the Hellfish, Grandpa Simpson's Hellfish army unit or whatever. They have a character called Asa. Resident Evil has a character called Asa. Besides that, there's like our advertising standards agency and amateur swimming association, but otherwise it's a pretty rare name. So that caught my attention on Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 I bought quite by accident. It came out back when I was in school. Resident Evil 2 came out. I was walking home from my regular after school detention, walking through town, and I thought, I'm going to see if I can find Resident Evil 2. And the first game shop that I walked in didn't have it, and the second game shop that I walked in didn't have it, and I got a little bit like frustrated that I couldn't find it. I just wanted to look at it. I don't know why. Things were different back then. Things were physical. You bought magazines and you picked up game boxes. I just wanted to pick up the game box and see it. And then I found it in the third box and panic bought it because it was so hard to find at that point. I was like, oh, I found it at last, I must buy it immediately. So I bought Resident Evil 2, played through that. I played Code Veronica on the Dreamcast, but Code Veronica on the Dreamcast was the last horror game that I played for a long time. I just lost interest in it as a genre until I started streaming. And then I started streaming and found that horror games are fun to stream. So I did pick up Resident Evil again, but I've not got very far with the latest one. So I've done Resident Evil 2 Remake. I've done Resident Evil 3 Remake. Those are probably still up on YouTube somewhere. But then I tried Resident Evil 0 HD or whatever it was, and that was freaking awful. So I dropped that, but I played Resident Evil 7 in VR. And for me, it felt like 17 hours into it, but I think I was about an hour and a half into it. And I haven't gone back to it yet because it's too tense. So, yeah, I like Resident Evil games, but I've still got a lot to get through. I need to finish Resident Evil 7, I need to do Resident Evil 8 in VR, and I need to play Resident Evil 4 Remake. And by the time I get round to those, there'll probably be Code Veronica, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 1, all of the rest of the things that they say that they're doing at the moment. And I like the first Evil Within a lot as well. So, yes, horror games are good, Resident Evil games are good, and I have many more that I need to play. Joe, what industry am I moving into for full-time work, if I could say? Well, yeah, it's just IT. Which job exactly I go into is a tiny bit up in the air again. I'm only saying this because there's not a chance in hell that anyone from there is going to watch. I got offered a job, and as I signed the contract, I got offered another interview as well that I'm just seeing through. So actually, I don't 100% know where I will be. Yeah. But it's just IT. It's nothing interesting. I left it for a reason the first time. You're gonna vom? They do seem, the place that I've accepted the job in, they seem like very nice people, and hopefully in 3 weeks' time, I'll be able to tell you that I had a very nice first few days of it or whatever. Apple is trash in general. That's almost reasonable gaming with passion, but I have to cut a little bit of slack for any big corporation that invests in virtual reality. They get redeemed immediately for that. I'm not a fan of Apple in general, but they are wasting money on VR for me. So not that I've not got their VR headset, but it still counts. Capcom announced Dead Rising remake this week. Yes, they did. Just with a little teaser, right? So we don't know a whole lot about it. We don't know if it's still going to have the weird timed missions, if it's still going to be. So the first Dead Rising was pretty colourful. It was like a nice zombie game. Some of the later ones, I think it was Dead Rising 4, was tonally much more blue light, more serious. Do I like Dead Rising? I liked the first Dead Rising for what it was worth. I'm not sure if I liked the... I'm not sure if it's a game that I finished or if it was a game that I just dicked about in for a while. I liked grabbing a lawnmower and running over some zombies for a while. Getting all the silly items and running around as Mega Man, Rockman with an arm blaster for a while. The silly stuff, I don't know if I actually finished it or cared for that. And the other Dead Rising games didn't hit in the same way as the first one, I don't think. Evening Baz, how's it going? Dead Rising Remake is going to be obviously, presumably the first one, so... I don't know really. I don't know why it's a remake. I don't know how much I want them to stay faithful to the first one that they made. And if it's not staying faithful, like they obviously revisited shopping mall situations in other Dead Rising games, so if it's not faithful, then it's more of a reboot than a remake. It probably will be faithful. I don't think Frank West is a particularly endearing or entertaining character. I don't think that he's so well loved that Capcom needed to do a teaser with some of his terrible lines. Could be wrong. Maybe there's some people here that think he's a brilliant, hilarious protagonist, but not for me. You only finished 2. As in, you only finished Dead Rising 2, or you only finished 2 Dead Rising games. Check out Vault Hunters mod pack on Minecraft Java. It might have a trailer. Is it Vault Hunters because it's based on Borderlands by any chance? Oh, you told me about this before. I just realized where this came from. Let me have a look. Minecraft Java. Like I say, there's a... What's it called? What have I done? A Discord thread. So we've got a Minecraft Bedrock realm that people are welcome to come on and play as long as you don't steal Isla's stuff. I've also got a kind of registration thread for Java for if people want to play the heavier mods and the Vivecraft mods and all of that kind of stuff. Minecraft Vault, typing very slowly with one hand. Vault Hunters 3rd edition. Vault Hunters. Vault Hunters. Vault Hunters. Mod pack showcase. There's unofficial stuff that I can see that I don't want to bring up right now. So people have done videos on this. I'm not sure who the mod creator is. I'd rather show their official stuff. Isla, I'm assuming you're saying this because it has the kind of structure and stuff that I might find easier to get into in Minecraft. Oh, that person is the... Okay. You told me who the creator is. There with the first result. I'm not going to subscribe to them, but I'm going to click on their channel and see their trailer. Hermitcraft 10. No. Not Hermitcraft. Wait a minute. Here we go. Vault Hunters. 100-day challenge. Nope. Oh, Hermitcraft Vault Hunters. They're the same thing. Are they the same thing? Vault Hunters 3rd edition. Episode 1. These are all boring. These are playthroughs, not trailers. There probably is a trailer somewhere. Hermitcraft. Minecraft Vault Hunters 3rd edition. Nah, it's like an hour-long video. Never mind. Tell me about it, Isla. What makes it special? Jack likes it and said that. I said, get me to look at it in case I like it. It's more gameplay. Yeah, you have told me about it before because you thought that I might like it, I think. It's possible. I need more people to register interest for Java before I consider Java mods, but if people want it. So Minecraft Java servers are not expensive, and you can support loads of players on them. So I'm quite willing to set one up and get on there. I'm quite interested in the Vivecraft bits and pieces as well that let you... You can play the Bedrock one in VR, but on Java, on Vivecraft, you can punch the trees with your hands. So, like more VR interactions and things. And you can wave to other players and stuff that you can't do in Bedrock. If you happen to find a trailer and stick a link in chat, then I would play it. But otherwise, let's go next question. Or let's go next question. And we can come back to that if there is one. Will I play Sparking Zero? Yeah, probably. Probably. It looks very much like all of the other Dragon Ball games to me. And I'm not normally a massive fan of them, the flying gameplay. Always just feels a bit chaotic. I've never quite understood if it has like a rock, paper, scissors element to the moveset, I've never picked it up. If it has a correct ways to respond to what's happening, I've never really picked it up. I just kind of inadvertently button mash. This feels like a nice time to dash and to throw some energy blasts of some kind. Might have been completely incorrect, and then it's reasonable until I start losing, and because I don't understand the mechanics at all, it's not that fun at the point that you start losing to simple things. But maybe that's because I don't pay attention to the instructions. Maybe this time around I will absorb more information and know how to play it. Will you play Sparking Zero, Isla? It's your kind of game, right? Here comes a trailer for the Vault Hunters thing. So I don't like it either. Don't like it. Because I don't understand. It just looks like Minecraft at the moment. I will absorb that separately. It does have bombs though. I do like explosions. Go from 530. Was that included in the link or is it not? Oh, okay, it's not. Here we go then. This is the problem. I assumed that your link was going to start it from the right timestamp. Here we go. The vault. Good luck. So this is what the mod adds. It's a dungeon. So I'm going to give you a firm maybe. Not because I can't read. I didn't read the entirety of the link. YouTube lets you do, like when you get the link, Isla, it says you want to include the timestamp. I just thought you'd do that for me. Well, you'd include the start point rather than make me scan it myself. I'm very lazy. I don't think 20 seconds is going to do it justice. What's at the end of the vault? What do you get? What's the purpose? And isn't the current, whatever the current patch is, adds a kind of dungeon structured roguelike mode, doesn't it? You have a time limit to fight and loot and get back to the hall. So what's the loot like? What's the kind of progression system? Are you getting more powerful equipment or do you just go in and come out with a load of cobblestone? equipment, materials, XP to get skills and stuff. I don't know, I'm not trying to upset you. I don't know how I feel about Minecraft as a base for this kind of thing, when games that are more dedicated to it with more sophisticated combat systems would probably do it better. Probably. Fuck you. Good to see you. Please don't be upset, Isla. I'm not disparaging Minecraft. I'm just not sure it's the best base for a dungeon running mod. I could be wrong. You don't like other games, you like Minecraft. Yes, I'm not saying no to having a go at this at some point either. So, I've lost the questions. Let's do the next question, please. If I can find it. Gaming with Passion has asked, have you and the Gaming Arcadia casters considered having different casters hosting the community game tonight? Gaming with Passion, you suggested last week that Gamsly should do a North American edition. And I immediately, as soon as the show was over, DM'd Gamsly and said, you should do a North American community game tonight. And he said, yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. He likes that, but he doesn't know how to do things at the moment. He needs some help with it. You're right. That's a good idea. No, not tonight. So tonight I wasn't so sure. Painful Discourse. It's a bit of an open question, but I think I'm going to play the Change Together game tonight, which Tony has. It's only like £3.90 and a very small download. I think it supports 4 people. So there's room and potential for more people to join. But last week on Saturday for community games, there weren't very many people around. If it turns out we get a bunch of people around wanting to play games, then we can switch the plan around and play something else. But I'm not sure that we will, and I didn't want to jump into a big game that nobody can make. So we'll see how that one goes. Tony is also flexible on it. So we shall see. Oh, Cheeseworks, that's a difficult question. I don't even listen to the podcasts that I'm on half the time. Yeah. So what podcast do I listen to? I listen to none of them live because I can't get to anything live really. I have been listening to ACG's podcast a fair amount. And that's about it. And that's no disrespect to the other people that do them, because there are a fair few nice ones around, but I'm not a big podcast listener. I don't have the attention span for it. It's oh, you're back just in time for your question. Yeah, no, I don't have the attention span for the listening, so I'm not a good podcast listener. Am I a beans guy like Jez Corden? No, I suffer profusely if I eat baked beans. I'm a mayonnaise guy like Jez Corden. I will stick mayonnaise on a PSVR 2 box to make it delicious. But baked beans don't go well with me. My youngest lad loves baked beans. His favourite meal in the whole world is a jacket potato with beans and cheese. You were listening, just driving. It's okay. I wasn't going to be offended if you weren't listening. Cheeseworks, it's all good. Jez can't eat beans either now. Why? For that to be a development for me, it's always been beans just don't sit well. But to have acquired a weakness to the beans, that sounds like a story. Yeah, I've got 2 boys that are doing well, hopefully. Just needs to go to Asda Living and get a Heinz Baked Beans t-shirt. They need to give him one for his fine work promoting them around America. Let's do the next question, please. Tony, Apple VR, what are my thoughts on where it's at financially and consumer attraction? Seems many returned at the beginning. For the last Apple event, they're pushing it more with support. It's a ridiculously priced, basically professional device that I think underperformed Apple's expectations from what I gather. Didn't particularly move the needle for the VR or AR industry either, but Apple are still committed to it. There's lots of talks that they've got 2 new versions of it coming out, somewhat cheaper but still Apple priced, light version of it coming next year, and then a full-on version 2 coming the year after that as well. So yeah, it's not a super interesting device to me because, like I've always said to you, Tony, as you know, it's not really a gaming device. It doesn't even have a controller. That's not what it targets. It's probably a fairly... Apple's investment in it in general is a fairly significant step towards VR and AR eventually converging in the way that I expect them to. But the current iteration of it is a nothing burger, as you'd say. It's just a technical step and mark, but not a commercially significant device, really. Yeah. And like I say, if that thing costs 700 quid, not 3,000 quid, I still wouldn't buy it because it doesn't do anything for me particularly. If someone were to give it away to me, or if it was like 200 quid, then sure, I'd get it for the experimentation. But what are my expectations for this channel? Is it simply a hobby for me, or am I looking for the channel to grow into something larger? Oh, there's a question, Cheeseworks. There's a question. I don't know the answer. My focal point for it, the thing that I want to make sure is like healthy, robust, and continues, is the community side of it. And I don't necessarily need that to grow substantially. I'm not using it to try and make a living. If it did get much bigger and it became useful in that sense, then cool, absolutely, that's fine and brilliant. But you can tell how much of a clout chaser I am by how much I use Twitter. Just to say, I'm not an attention seeker. If anything, I'm an attention repeller. Makes me uncomfortable. I like the community stuff. I like the people that are around the Discord. I'm in it for that. People like Ant, who's just shown up. How you doing, Ant? Am I here for the long term? Like, I don't want this show to run for all that much longer. I've got no plans to abandon YouTube, if that's what you're getting at, and I've got no plans to abandon the Discord. I like the community stuff. Why is that sad, Isla? That's a positive. I think that's for me, that's a much more kind of healthy relationship with it than trying to grow it, because I'm not an attention seeker. I'm not the right kind of person to grow a channel. But that doesn't mean that it's going anywhere. I am quite content having it be a positive place for people that do like the games and like this kind of tone and approach to it. I didn't say can't do it. It's not can't. I could be a complete arsehole, which is like not the only way to succeed, but it's the easiest way to succeed. I'm not saying everybody that's successful is a complete arsehole, don't get me wrong, but I could be a complete arsehole if I wanted to grow and succeed, and I'd rather not. Bucky, exactly. if it does grow, I'm not like opposed to it. If there's enough good people around that fit into the community, then they're welcome. You don't want to hear that framing either. You don't believe it. It was so true. It was quite profound. And to be honest, you've been around here about a month, and all of the Discord channels you're in, Arcadia is one that you felt most welcome in. It's the one you use the most good, and I'm glad. Community is the goal. And it's definitely not just me doing well. I'm very fortunate to have a bunch of people that drive it and carry it and keep it afloat and wholesome, right? So even when I'm quiet, Discord remains, like Chronic says, hits different. It's a good place. That's what I want from it. My style and tone fits with Xbox era. Good. I've got their book. I don't think Nick likes me very much, but they seem a nice enough bunch. I've got no conflict with Xbox era. So, what wine am I drinking this evening? It's my Ribena-like, overly sweet, jammy red something or other wine. I don't know. It's delicious and fit for a child. Not literally though, because the alcohol content, but you know. Thank you, Farky. Thank you everyone that said nice things about the community and channel and all the rest of it. Let's have the next question if there are any more. You do enjoy red wine, but it makes you super sleepy. Yeah. I don't like to sleep. I like to play games. Fortunately, red wine doesn't make me particularly sleepy. Very confused. Very confused by the question that's come up. Does that say that it's from me? Either of you submitted a question as the Gaming Arcadia channel? Or is this... What's displayed now? I'm lost and confused. I've just got a message up that says Gaming Arcadia Q&A. I'm not useless at answering questions! Exclamation mark. That's the prompt that you wrote. That's not a prompt. That's not a prompt, it's very confusing. But that's what's there. So it's over, right? That's all the questions done. As an American, you assume that Brits and Aussies got along. Yeah, it's not a cultural difference, Cheeseworks. It's not a cultural difference. I just ages ago on Game On Daily I said some things about people like leakers and all the rest of it that I don't think went down very well. But hopefully, like, nothing serious, nothing personal. Bum, 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 bum. So let's do nothing. That's it. There's nothing else to do. What I'm going to do is take 5 or 10 minutes to relax my buttocks. John from Era is a Brit there. Yeah, no, I've got no big conflict with Xbox Era. Don't get me wrong at all. I've got their little book there, 20 years of Xbox book and all that kind of stuff. Like, they're fine. They're fine, and I like them well enough. Did I get anything in the Steam sale? Yes, Ant. Some multiplayer things. Some multiplayer things that I mentioned on the Discord server. I've not picked up anything for myself yet, because I haven't started the job yet, so I need to be mildly frugal. Yeah, some stuff that you'll see come up in the community game stuff. You asked other questions, but they didn't appear. YouTube does occasionally eat things, but all of the questions and everything that goes in there that actually sticks does come up. So if there were others and they're falling through the cracks, then I'm afraid they are probably lost forever. You're welcome to type them in again, just into normal chat or whatever. The sale's not great this time. The sale's not great. Depends. Are you looking for a particular game, Chronic? Because the stuff that I've been picking up has been like £3 or whatever, which is fine. yes, there will be more opportunities for questions besides this as well. So if there is anything that was like more pressing that you wanted to get in, then by all means. So Tony, you've got a partner now. I can't claim that it's just your iPhone or your fingers. Tony has the same issue Cheeseworks in that questions intermittently just don't submit from an iPhone. Mr. Late has arrived. I thought I was Mr. Late. Oh, it's you, Pete. Pete, real quick, what you've been playing and how you doing? Tony, VR Megaton Rainfall is a great game on sale. That's the you fly around as like a superhero, Superman kind of character, right? And blowing up a city or whatever. But quite small, more in the realms of tech demo than full game as far as I know. What are my thoughts on mobile ports of AC Mirage and Death Stranding only selling 3,000 copies? That aligns quite well with something that I quite often say about the challenges that Xbox have when they talk about... Phil Spencer's quite often come out and talked about there being like 2 billion, and he upped it more recently to 3 billion gamers in the world, and Xbox want to reach 3 billion gamers. And I question how many of the 2 or 3 billion are interested in like what we would consider proper games, and whether that audience is addressable, whether they can reach them with the kind of experience we care about. To see real games, and I use the term like quotation marks because obviously games are games, but to see that kind of, you know, big screen experience completely flop on phone, it's not necessarily a surprise to me. It's the same with so Xbox and Amazon are doing their Fire Stick thing, where if you've got an Amazon 4K Fire Stick from like last year and a Bluetooth controller, then you can play Xbox Game Pass stuff and Fortnite and whatever else. And it's such a small audience. 200 million people might have Amazon Fire Sticks, but people that want to play games with a controller, that want to play proper games, those are the cool people, right? And there's not as many of us. There's not as many of us. Do I read? I wish I did. I wish I did. Games is my favourite medium. And I occasionally will get some TV and films in, but not that many. Books, I wish that I did, but no, I very rarely get the time. I don't know what to do about that. Saw some books. I think actually you were there, Isla. I saw some books at a service station. Was like, I want to read, but don't know when. I know Rand reads a lot, doesn't he? Audible. So I'm not a listener, and Audible wouldn't be the solution for me. I think I would actually be better off like actual book in hand, physically reading rather than Audible. This is the same thing as I said about podcasts. Attention span isn't my strong suit. And I don't actually know if that's better or worse between like reading and listening. But people have probably witnessed it just when we play Forza and I can't handle more than 2 laps. I just kills me. Like, why are we still racing on the same track? And books. Can't listen. I can't listen. Can't focus on a voice like that. Fuck you, since having your MetaQuest 2, which you got for £100, you enjoyed the first month, but now the novelty is worn off. Is there any games that I could recommend? Fuck you, are you using it Quest 2 native, or do you have a PC that you play it with? Because that instantly changes the situation. But Blade and Sorcery is the answer either way. Especially, I know on the PC side of things, Blade and Sorcery version 1 is out, which is its release candidate, like there's a proper game in there as opposed to just a tech demo. The Quest version of Blade and Sorcery is called Blade and Sorcery Nomad, and it is a different line. It's not the whole main game, it's a different thing. But if they also have their release candidate, even if they don't, Blade and Sorcery is brilliant fun. Go and play it, and it will be novelty. It will just be like, yeah, I'm chopping heads, and then you will get bored of it. But it's great fun. We've also got, fuck you, are you in our Discord? You must be in our Discord. We've got a Looking for Group forum, and there's a couple of VR games in there. Chronic and Tony, Gaming with Passion, so Demon Hunter, are all Quest people as well. The multiplayer stuff on Quest, Isla's got a Quest 2. Multiplayer stuff works really well. So this is me failing the community by not arranging enough VR play sessions. But we need to do some VR stuff. Get on Discord and we'll talk about the VR games there. Do I exercise often, running or gym, or just VR for exercise? Not often enough. I do taekwondo historically a lot, but not a lot at the moment. Like 3 times a week at the moment, but that's not a lot for me. And the VR stuff, yeah, not gym, really. It's one of those things I would like to exercise more. My attention span can handle exercise. Yeah. Yep, them's what I like. I like kicking people. Used to play football, but that was a while ago, so. Praydog UE mod is a fantastic shout if he has a PC. So he does use it native, he does have a gaming PC, but it's 9 years old. If your PC is 9 years old with a GTX 970, probably don't look into the Praydog mod. There are some things that you could run natively from a PC. Oh, Robo Recall, fucking hell, have you played Robo Recall? Even the Quest version is probably playing there, but the PC version may even run. You can't count and do push-ups and breathe at the same time. What's that a response to? Hang about. Very confusing. Oh, your attention span can't handle exercise because you can't juggle all of those things. Okay, I understand. I understand. I know well your attention span for such things, yes. Do I game with my sons? Not as much as I would like to. I had them both playing Final Fantasy XIV for a little bit. In the past, I've played a bit of Apex Legends and Rocket League with one of them. But they have completely differing tastes and are pretty stubborn about playing things outside of their comfort zone, especially the older one. So less than we'd like. We managed to get through the first 2 acts of Diablo 3 at some point, and then they both just went, nah, not playing that anymore. Oh. And I did that, so my wife plays some things as well. We did that as a 4-person team. It's like the dream to get the whole family playing games together. It's fun, but I cannot hold their interest onto actually good games. They just trot back to what they used to. So, yeah. Have you got kids, Cheeseworks? Have you got kids that you play games with? Tony's saying something's a great game. It's mostly messing around since the world is so well done to interact with. You want to get Fallout 4 VR eventually. Skyrim VR is a lot better than Fallout 4 VR. I know you're on a Fallout kick and you're doing your New Vegas at the moment. But Skyrim is better. I also need to do Fallout 4 VR. Like it's still a big game worth playing, but she's supposed you're 23. Oh wow, you're closer to my kids than you are to me. I don't feel bad about that. That's fine. Fuck you. You love the Half-Life universe. Half-Life Alex is like a. You definitely want to try and find a way to play it. I don't know. As despite being a very like high-end, attractive VR game, it is quite performant. It might work on your 970. The 970 that you got was the minimum spec for VR for a long time, and it might actually be the minimum spec for Half-Life Alex. But have a look into that. That gaming with passion. You want to try Fallout 4 VR? Is it good? The reviews are mixed. It's not good. It's Fallout 4 with a fairly half-assed conversion into VR. And so Skyrim was also a fairly half-assed conversion into VR, but in terms of Skyrim, it was more moddable, and the mod community did a better job of fixing it up. So Fallout you can mod, but you can't fix it up to the extent that you can Skyrim. You can't make it like that much of a native VR feeling game. It's probably still worth it. There's not that many like full-fledged games in VR, so I'd still try Fallout 4. But you are definitely going to need to mod it, and you are not going to make it perfect when you do. Is Asgard's Wrath 2 overrated? No. That's what you need to play for, Q. Natively on the Quest 2. Get some Asgard Wrath 2 in. I don't know. Cheeseworks, so I have a VR treadmill that works with Quest games, but is a little bit funky in the way that it works with Quest games. So I haven't actually played Asgard's Wrath 2. I did the opening sequence, the intro for it, but I didn't want to play it until it's compatible with the treadmill, which it probably is by now, so I should check. The other thing is I like to stream, and the Quest is a pain in the ass to stream. PC VR I can stream quite well. Quest is... I can technically stream it, but it's a bit messy, especially in terms of trying to interact with people that are talking to me and things like that. So I'll look into that in the near future. Actually, getting back onto the Quest streaming. The other thing is I don't have a Quest 3. I have a Quest Pro. The Quest 3 is better for encoding and streaming and things like that. So, but not necessarily better for PC VR, which is my kind of main use scenario for it. So, Fucky, you did have a high-end PC at some point, now you have a potato. Is it the same thing? Was it a high-end PC that gradually turned into a potato over time? Or did you get rid of the high-end one? Gaming with passion, you liked LA Noire at the start, but it got boring. Fair. Fair. The first Asgard's Wrath is very good as well. Very pretty. Much prettier than Asgard's Wrath 2. And stuff that we do, so Dungeons of Eternity and Walkabout Mini Golf, those are cool. Quest 3 with the Quest Pro's controllers is the dream. Is it, Chronic? I thought the Quest 3's controllers were actually pretty adequate in terms of tracking. The Quest Pro's controllers are brilliant. There are some other things I really like about the Quest. The screens are not entirely better. They're not better in every way, but they're better in some important ways. And it's really damn good to sweat into. I can sweat buckets and buckets and buckets while I'm wearing a Quest Pro, and because of the open design of it, it doesn't break the headset, and that's very useful when you're running around on a treadmill in VR. The Pro's controllers are pretty much perfect, Chronic, but if the Quest 3 ones are 99% perfect on the tracking, then I wouldn't suggest that you need to spend 200 quid for the Pro controllers, because they'll feel the same. It was high end and it turned into a potato over time. Don't we all? Don't we all? Right, I think that's probably a good time to finish up. And I reckon in about 10 or 15 minutes time will appear back on this channel for a game called Chained Together with Tony. Tony is going to appear on camera, I think. Tony, is that true? Are you coming on camera today? And our new question is, Gears when? Painful Discourse very soon. Painful Discourse, which Gears do you want to play in which mode? You have to remind me, we talk about it all of the time. I know it's a surprise, Tony. I'm building up anticipation for the big reveal, which means, yeah, I guess it's not a surprise, but... but it could still be a surprise. Better turn up for this next show. I always turn up, more or less, apart from the times that I don't, but we won't hold those against me. Gears of War, Painful Discourse. You've said that you're not about today, right? So not today. I've got Gears 5 still installed. I've launched it the other day and just checked that it's all there, and actually I needed to install its texture pack for some reason. So it's all set. This is Gears 5 I'm talking about. It's all set and ready to go. When is still the question, isn't it, that I haven't really answered. I would like to say very soon. I think, as far as I can tell, these Saturday streams, the community games thing, there's less people interested in playing, so it might end up being a Saturday. If not, then we'll get there. It's going to happen, Painful Discourse. I need you to be there on Discord to nag me and make sure that we do. Gears 5 is okay, but any will do, indeed. Indeed, but I need to know modes as well. I need to know if we're running through the campaign or if we're doing some horde mode or what the deal is. Pazza, Deadpool and Wolverine looks good indeed. They know how to make a funny trailer, that's for sure. Presumably the film will follow the same tone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't watch loads of films. I don't typically go to the cinema for a long time. But I will watch that when I can. Yeah. Yeah. What was that native VR game? Asgard's Wrath 2 you should play, and have a look at Blade and Sorcery Nomad as well. I don't know what state that's in. Oh, and Robo Recall. Have a look at those. There's probably others. Like, I'm not the best person to advise on native Quest stuff, honestly, because I don't use it that much natively. Dungeons of Eternity, that was another one. That's for the multiplayer. Mostly fuck you, get on our Discord and we'll talk about it there. Get on our Discord and we'll arrange all kinds of multiplayer VR games. Yes, Isla, thank you. You put a load of cheese on Twitch. Is that cheese? I think it's cheese. But a load of the Arcadia symbol on YouTube, so. Painful Discourse, you're up for anything from the campaign to the Horde and PvP. Okay. I reckon, Isla, I need a thumbnail for Gears of War 5, please. And fuck you, if you want to get on Chain together, absolutely do. It looks silly, hopefully fun. And I think it supports up to 4 people. I think the more people we have on it, up to that 4, the more chaotic and funny it should be, so. Just notice that YouTube has emotes. It does, it does. It does. I'm just going to get right on it. Add it to the list though, because there's a few thumbnails I requested, right? Anyway, stop prolonging and dragging out the show. It needs to end so we can get on to Chain Together, which should be good fun. If you are still around, then obviously we'll still be talking, so we can carry it on like that. And if not, what's the day today? It's Saturday, so tomorrow's games are a little bit different. Forza Motorsport completely flopped and wouldn't work last week. I have fixed that, so we'll probably start with a few races of Forza Motorsport, but then I want to jump onto something quite different. I'm thinking Pummel Party, which is a Mario Party ripoff on the PC that I've been encouraging people to try and get a hold of. So Forza Motorsport and Pummel Party is my current thoughts for tomorrow's games. Subject to change depending on conversations through Discord, and I do want to get Power World sorted out as well. Bloody Power World, I've upset myself again. This is a terrible tone. I'm going to end the thing in a big strop. I'll see you in the week, everyone. Really over this time. It wasn't an accident. See you in a minute.